It's another special edition of Litter Media Live. I'm Dan Ramey, and our guest right now is Lori Graves, stopping in from Hank FM. Appreciate you coming by.
Yes, I came directly from Hank.
Yes.
After furiously texting you.
Throw on some makeup.
I did put on a little powder.
You don't need makeup on radio.
No, it's what I love about the radio. I could roll in there looking like whatever, and it doesn't matter.
One thing I kind of miss about doing radio.
Do you miss that? Yeah, because now you're here.
Yeah, it's like, people are watching.
Exactly.
Coming up in just a moment, we're going to talk about the Majestic Theatre and what shows are just around the corner. So stay close for that. But first, these words from our friends at Classic Brands.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good.
We talked last week with Paul Pollard, who is the founder of Rock for Tots, and he continues to keep that going. They're now in their 40th year. That's one of the shows coming up at the Majestic Theatre. But Lori, we've got another one coming up pretty soon. And if you're an Electric Light Orchestra fan, a.k.a. ELO, you're going to like this group coming up in November.
Absolutely. It's an ELO tribute band called Turn to Stone. They have a string section. They dress the part. And I guess it is just an all-out experience of ELO. We still have plenty of tickets for that. So if you're an ELO fan and you're like, maybe I need to find something to do on November 22nd at 7 p.m., the Majestic Theatre is where you need to be. The tickets are on majesticchillicothe.net, like all of our shows. Concessions will be there. We do proudly serve classic brand products as well. Mm-hmm. But I'm just so happy that we've been having all of these bands. This past weekend, we had the 80s hair band experience and the other one, the Eagles.
Out of Eden,
Yeah, I mean, both those shows were about 50, 60 tickets from a sellout. That's 500 seats. And it was just amazing to see that many people in the theater. And we're just hoping we can keep it rolling throughout the rest of the year.
A buddy of mine lives down by Daytona Beach. He's a big ELO fan. He dresses up like Jeff Lynne. In fact, he's even walked through a restaurant and signed autographs as Jeff
Really? Oh my gosh.
People were getting their pictures taken with him and everything. He might fly up from Daytona for this show.
I was going to say, is he available? If we get a hold of him on the 22nd, that would be fantastic. Yes. But the write-up that we have on the website is you can experience the nostalgia of a legendary rock band. Turn to Stone captures the magic of 1970s ELO performance with a live string section, light show, and 70s clothing. And I know we did have people dress up for the 80s hair band experience. So I would love to see some people maybe break out the 70s garb and come jam with the ELO tribute band.
That's the cool thing about these tribute bands. You can ride with the theme.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize these are not Majestic Theatre shows. These are actually rentals for us. Booking companies have discovered the Majestic Theatre, so they're now booking us and bringing us all of these great tribute bands, and we couldn't be happier about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's shown that people want to see them as well.
They do, because again, some of these people, they're not together anymore. They're not touring anymore, especially like the Motown shows and stuff that we've been able to have. It's just a great experience, and it's a night to be able to relive the glory days of your youth, I guess. So, yeah.
But that's the final show for November.
Yes, the final show is the ELO for November.
But you had a pretty jam-packed December.
We've got a pretty hustling December coming up. Of course, like you mentioned, on the 6th, we're going to start out with Rock for Tots. 40 years.
Yeah.
That's great. Paul Pollard's awesome. He's going to be on Hank with me to talk about Rock for Tots. We do have that. And then the very next night, we have our annual Phil Dirt and the Dozers concert.
They have been around for ages.
They have, and we are fortunate that we can get them to come every year to the Majestic. The floor is about 3/4 of the way sold out, and there are still plenty of good balcony seats.
Yeah, very good. Again, that is coming up on the 7th, so that's a Saturday night concert. I recall when I worked in Columbus, worked a couple of shows with them. A blast.
Great group, yeah.
I'm talking 35 years ago, but still, these guys are high-level entertainers.
They are. I mean, every year you would never know they're aging because they're just the same every year. They put on a solid performance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, a little bit later on, you've got Chillicothe Civic Theatre will be doing a performance.
Yes, we are fortunate to partner with the Chillicothe Civic Theater every year for their big Christmas production. This year, they're going to be doing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Now, these tickets are not on sale on our website. This is a CCT production. They're again, it's a rental of the theater, but you can pick up tickets at cctoh.org.
And if you forget that, just Google Chillicothe.
Just Google, the Civic Theater, or their Facebook page. But I do love when they come in. They usually have a lot of children in their productions, and it's just fun to see the kids running around backstage, and hustling, and they always put on a solid holiday performance. So those shows, the 13th, 14th, and 15th of December, with the 15th, I believe, being a matinee show.
Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure you're participating in this.
Yes.
John Barry is just around the corner, and it's hard to believe he's been doing this concert for 28 years.
I know. And sells out the Majestic every year.
Yeah, and when I have talked with him in the past, he said, I just love the Majestic Theater. And many people do when they come to perform there because the acoustics are fantastic.
Yes, and I think everybody, people love the history of the theater. We just had a band, I think it was a couple weeks ago, and I forget which band it was. We've had so many, but they had researched the Majestic, and they were asking me, backstage before the show started, is this place really haunted? And I said, heck yeah, it is. Stick around. Something will happen. So, but yeah, we do have John Barry. His tickets are rapidly disappearing. So if you want to catch John Barry, there are about 16 random floor seats left, and there are only around 58 balcony seats left. And at 500 seats, that's a sellout.
Yeah. And it's a very intimate show.
It is. People come every year to see him. He is like a Christmas favorite in this area, and I always look forward. And it's on a Monday night this year, but we always look forward to having John Barry at the Majestic.
Yeah, that's pretty much putting a wrap on the year.
Yes,
correct?
Pretty much on the year. Yes, that is.
But we did look ahead, and in February you've got. Everybody likes ABBA music.
Oh, I know. We have ABBA, the tribute band in February. I always have to stress tribute because the first time we had Twitty and Lynn, someone called and wanted to know if it was Conway and Loretta.
And both of them are...
They are deceased. Now, I am willing to do a lot for the Majestic Theater, but resurrecting people is not something that I'm really down to do.
That would be something, because you take a look at the number of people that have been there before, including Bob Hope. That would be a
heck of a show.
Can you imagine how much price you'd have to put on that show?
On that show, thousands. It would be thousands, definitely thousands. But we do have on February 7th, which is 2 days after my birthday, we have ABBA Fab. It is an ABBA tribute band. Those tickets are on sale right now. They have 3 different pricing levels, and this band usually sells out everywhere they go. So I think it's kind of like, our Fleetwood Mac band that we have that sells out, and the Chicago band is also going to be coming back in 2025. You and I talked about that too. So if you're looking ahead, you might want to go ahead and purchase those ABBA Fab tickets for February, because things are moving quickly at the Majestic and shows are selling out.
Don't be confused by the name, because it kind of sounds like a name of a character in Star Wars, but
or Ab Fab, the show. So yeah. But it's ABBA Fab is the name of that. Yes.
So Dancing Queen and so on and so forth, you'll enjoy that.
Oh, all the hits. And just keep watching the Majestic Facebook page, because we have a lot of things coming up. And I will tell you, I'll give you a little hint. Chicago Tribute Brass Metropolis, March 22nd.
Last year.
March 22nd, Dan.
Yes.
And those tickets are not listed yet, but they will be soon. But the ABBA Fab tickets are on the website.
Yes. Now, let me ask you a couple more things about the Majestic Theatre.
Sure.
I know nonprofits can use the theater. People still get married do you have weddings?
Oh, I don't think we've had a wedding for a while, but we have had people rent the theater for weddings. You can rent the Majestic Theater. We do have a nonprofit rate, and then we also have our regular rental rate. You can contact the Chillicothe Ross Visitors Bureau, ask for Gene Betts, and he can send you out our pricing and a contract. I know we've had a lot of bands that just come in and rent the theater, and then they have the show. We will do the ticketing for you. So it's just like Ticketmaster without the fees. You can get on there and pick your seat wherever you want to do. Since we've been working with the booking agencies, they have initiated the different price levels. So some seats are, maybe a little bit more expensive than others, but I really don't think there's a bad seat in the Majestic Theater.
Yeah.
It's just 1853. They did it right, and we have air conditioning. So it'll be our second year with air conditioning.
Yeah.
So we can continue to roll through the summer and still provide quality entertainment to the community, and people won't be sweaty.
And you also have heating as well.
Yeah, we have heat too. Yeah.
Which is very key, because I remember the Beatles tribute band that was there, I think 2015, thereabouts. It was very cold.
That was before my time. But could you see your breath in the theater?
You could, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But at any rate, everything has been modernized in app fashion.
Yes.
They've done a great job with the Majestic Theater to make it an enjoyable experience for those, not only here in Ross County, but the many regional folks who stop by to watch a show.
Well, I know we had Killer Bees, the comedian, clean comedy. We had him a couple Fridays ago. The ticket turnout was low, and it was disappointing because he is such a nice guy. He's been on 8 seasons of Moonshiners, and his feature act he brought with him from Nashville, also a clean comic. It was a great show. I'm really going to push for him to come back in late spring, because I really think the people at Chillicothe missed out on a quality show, but he was impressed with just how everything at the Majestic was. And, if you see shows there, support them, because that's how we can continue to bring people back.
I recall standing in line at the Metropolis Brass show, or Brass Metropolis show, and standing in line to use the men's room. And you strike up conversations with the people
always
waiting.
Yeah.
And this fellow was saying, "How long's this theater been here?" And so I turned into like a mouthpiece for the Majestic.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, 1853. Yeah.
And so, but I asked him where he was from, and he was from 100 miles away, coming to check the place out.
There was a guy that a couple drove down from New Philadelphia, Ohio, to see Killer Bees. So we had a small crowd, but a lot of the people there drove at least 2 hours to see him, because he does have a big following. So if you see Killer Bees up on the Majestic again in 2025, come to that show and support him. I think he's 74 years old. He's been doing comedy for over 40 years. He's a regular at the Grand Ole Opry. I mean, those are pretty big creds. And he's been on Moonshiners for seasons. So, but just pay attention to our website and our Facebook page. We're always keeping that updated with what we have coming up. And these shows, you can ask anybody that's attended them. All of these tribute bands have been a lot of fun.
MajesticChillicothe.net.
Yes.
Is the web address to go to get your tickets and to find out more about what's on the docket.
Well, and I did have a lady the other night inquiring. I worked the box office, and she was inquiring about Phil Dirt tickets, and she didn't want to buy them online. If you're one of those people and you're not comfortable buying things online, you can always stop by the Visitors Bureau during business hours, and they can help you purchase your tickets in person.
And if you've never been there, it's right behind Roosters.
Yeah.
And that conglomerate with all the hotels and everything.
Just go to the right, like you're going to the Hampton, but it's right there on the right. So
and if you get lost, their number is 740-702-ROSS.
Yes, very easy. Right, we make all of these things easy for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lori, thank you for stopping in. And
thank you for having me.
Perhaps we'll have you back in January to talk about more things that'll be booked for 25.
I would love to do that.
Sounds good. Lori Graves, you can catch her on Hank FM, 100.9 FM, but also at the Majestic Theatre.
Yes.
You'll see her every show. Thank you for watching this edition of Litter Media Live.